Hey, what is up, guys? It is John from Collectors Company once again, bringing you guys another deck profile. For those of you who don't know, I was fortunately able to win another regional here in OCE. Once again, super stoked about it. I was able to win my second gold UI Goku, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah, not much else really to say. I've had a pretty good year so far in Dragon Ball here in OC. I'm pretty fortunate that I've had been able to top and win so many events, which is for me it's pretty cool. Um, I'm just trying to just keep on playing the game, keep on playing, keep on grinding, doing the best I can, and it's been pretty good. Last time I didn't do a deck profile for the previous regional. I played Golden Freezer and got third. I lost to my teammate Benny in the finals, so in the previous one, but in this one, this regional that was an in-person event in Sydney, went there and I was able to win. Had a really awesome time. It's the in-person regionals are like just 10 times way more fun than the online regionals because you literally get to physically see people, right, and interact with them, and it's really awesome. I get to meet a bunch of new people every time, and I get to see a bunch of friends, like for example Max Kennedy, who got second in the event. Congrats to him. Got to see always awesome people at the event and whatnot, and get to hang out. It was really good, and um just want to, before we do get into the video, I want to the deck profile, deck profile. Sorry, I want to shout out my two teammates, or three teammates actually, that came with me to the event, being Peter, Kevin, and Jun. They all did really well. I versed Peter. Peter, I would say, was actually my hardest match of the entire day. Who I versed in the second round. He played his deck incredibly well, and it sucks he was only able to get ninth, which is still really good. But then also congrats to Kevin and Jun. Jun got fourth place, and Kevin got sixth. So obviously, really good showing from the team once again. And the deck I played, Green Gohan. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I think everyone is sick of this deck, but I'm just going to give my 2 cents on what I think of everything. And we'll just dive straight into the deck profile. All right, so of course we've got Green Gohan. The leader that since it has released, it is the most played deck, or one of the most played decks in the entire format. And there's a good reason for it. The leader does so many broken things and has a lot of powerful interactions. I will say it is I would it, it's very weird because in reality the best color in the game is still yellow, in my opinion. I think yellow is the best color in the game, because it has the most answers. However, Green Gohan has also got answers to yellow's answers for this deck, if that makes sense. Like, as weird as that sounds. So, but I think I think the two best colors in the game right now. I'd say Gohan is one of the best decks in the game, but yellow is the best color in the game. Gohan's barely just able to compete with yellow, to be honest. Oh, not barely able to compete, but yeah. It's literally Gohan versus Yellow, just kind of this format in DBS, and obviously got some sprinkles of blue in OCE. But that's my thoughts on that. So obviously we got the time chamber. You put the cards on the time chamber to free play. The Gohan leader front side. You swing top 5 at a green say into your hand. No specified cost, which is insanely broken. And then if you have the Goku in play or at 4 life or less, you get to untap 1 and draw 1 and flip over to your Awaken side. And if you awaken with the Goku in play, which of course you can play from the Time Chamber, you go down for life. A lot of people like to rush into the Z leader with this Gohan. You can honestly sit on depending on the matchup, you actually generate a lot of cards on this particular side of the leader, as when you just combo, you draw 2, and plus when you attack with a Gohan battle card, you're just kind of filtering 2 cards. So you don't always have to rush into the Z leader, but against aggro matchups or even the mirror, sometimes it is important too, just because the Z leader provides you so much extra defense. So there's that. I'll dive straight into the Z deck first because I think I think a lot of it is just self-explanatory. We have the archetype cards being the 2 Gokus, the 117, 116, and the 1 Z leader. The 2 Gokus, you want to be able to put the Goku under the time chamber at least twice a game. I don't think you want to do any more. It's not as it's very important to do so, but you don't really want to be committing a third Z deck spot or even a fourth to doing that, because realistically you're only going to play them from the time chamber like twice a game. So there's that. Obviously you want to run the Z leader combo. The 16 is honestly just a broken card, regardless of the fact that it lets you. Well, obviously it lets you go to the Z leader for 1 and lets you self awaken down to 4. The big thing is that like the fact that it can't be turned off, it's like it's always just going to resolve and let you go to the Z leader. And then the Z leader having an uninteractable way to draw cards, and then also being able to make your Gohan 8 drop a 45k base, burn a life into lead, or if your leader attacks a 30k double strike base into lead. It's just literally just big and like it just makes big numbers for no reason. So yeah, that's always nice. And then for the other three Z cards I run, I play one Goku, one Jiren, and one Frieza. I used to not run this Goku in my Queensland build, my previous build of the deck. Don't think it's worth playing two Frieza. Frieza costs 2 energy, versus the Goku costing 1, and sometimes you just want that 1 energy play to push through. And Jiren is just there to nuke Unisons. To be completely honest, I would probably cut the Goku and Jiren for the new Broly Z card that's coming out in the next set. I think the deck is going to actually be more heavily built towards that particular card because that card is insanely incredible. And yeah, the deck will get a lot better in the next set. And I'd still say, if you're thinking about continuing playing Green next set, I would just recommend sticking with Green Gohan. I believe Green Gohan's better than other two uh the other two green decks that are coming out in the next set. But yeah, I think currently this should be your Z deck, but once the new Broly card comes out, you just play that Broly. All right, and then we'll go into the main deck now. Obviously, we saw our time chamber, but yeah, we'll go into the ratios of the on archetype stuff. For Vegeta, for Trunks. I was originally running this at a 4-3 or 3-3 split in my previous build. This is just your best turn one in the game. Being able to search your entire deck for like, if you see one, you search your entire deck for the other one, you thin your deck one card, and the fact that it gives you just full deck information turn one is like, you know exactly if where your SCR is, if it's in deck or live, you know how many super combos in deck. You just get all that useful information where no other deck can really do besides maybe Trunks Jeter, and that deck isn't really seeing too much play. And then obviously, like, against pretty much like blue and yellow are running cards specifically to counter this on turn one. If they don't have the answer to this turn one, you're swinging with this guy for 20k crit. You get to draw another card, get a free Z energy, and then you get to swing with your leader or the Z Goku you just generated free Z energy for. Swing again, and you generated 2 Z energy for literally 1 energy, which is kind of absurd, and also cycled you a card and got a 20k crit swing in. Like, yeah, this is like, it's kind of crazy how it's like, it doesn't seem like much, but just how it works is just ridiculous. Like, yellow is running more Taito to hit this card as well as the 8 drop. Blue's using, what do you call it, the trio, the Shumai Pilaf, to like literally remove crit and bottom deck the Trunks. Like, this card is absurd. This card is one of the main reasons why the deck's insane. It starts off your whole engine, and it's just so efficient. Like, the red Gogeta deck got banned for being able to combo cards in rest mode, and the fact that this card, well, not just because of that, but because it just was very efficient at generating Z energy. And the fact that if you open either one of these two cards, it thins your deck, and it also generates you 2 Z energy as well as pressuring a 20k crit swing, all for the cost of 1 energy. And then on the turn that you're doing it, it's actually free. It can also get you 2 life as well, 2 self awaken. Yeah, this is 100% has to be mandatory for of no more, no less. You want to see, you always want to open this in your hand no matter what, because this is your best turn one play in the game. In the mirror match, a little tip: don't put it under your time chamber turn one in the mirror match, because then if they have opened it, you're prone to getting hit with 20k crit. Just leave yourself energy up for a negate or a cells if you have it in hand. Then obviously we got 3 Gohan, 3 Goku. I was tossing up between running 4 Goku, but I ultimately cut it out so I can just have more flex spots in the main. Yeah, not much else to say really. It's here mainly to self awaken. Um, Little tip: if you're ever up against yellow players, right, who are tapping your Vegeta, and then you do get you have that awkward situation where you have the Trunks stuck under the time chamber, if I can find it, and it's kind of awkward to get the Goku thing under. You can technically, what you can do, you can still, like, later on you can do it awkwardly or whatever, but let's just say now you're in the situation where you only have a Goku under the time chamber. You can play the Goku from under the time chamber normally, play another one of the Z Goku to reload your time chamber, and then pay the 1 energy of the Goku you previously had in play, and play the Gohan to draw the card and still carry the other card. It's just like a little way, like a little tidbit you can do to get around certain certain things your opponent's doing. Just so a little, did you know, a little bit of tips and tricks. But yeah, the Gohan's also busted. Like, the Goku is literally for self awakening, and the Gohan's here to just kill anything. Like, a lot of the time, a lot of people just always go, all right, I'm playing my Goku, then I'll play the one and play the Gohan in the same turn. I think that's a mistake majority of the time. A lot of the time, I actually just like to leave the one Gohan under the time chamber, because I'm literally saying to my opponent, if you play any threat, I'm killing it for free. So maybe you don't want to play a threat. It's just actually just crazy that I can do that. all willy nilly. Of course, paying the 1 energy to go draw into it is always nice, but the fact that if you leave that there and you don't always have to go into it, it's just another form of free play. And the fact that it's free play with removal with deflect is just absurd. And plus, it also just destroys unison. So yeah, that's enough being said about that. Next, obviously, we have some of the SPRs for the deck, the 8-drop Goku Gohan and the free 10k Goku. This is the best battle card in the game, no questions asked. You run it as 4 because you want to see it every game. The majority of the time, the turn you play this card, it should be dying. Your opponent has to clear it on the following turn. Whenever I'm playing this deck and this lives 1 turn, you've won the game. It's kind of how it is. There's like, you shouldn't lose the game if you have one of these surviving, because then it's just an extra. None of these effects are limit 1 besides the one you're playing. So hypothetically, right? I play this one, I swing, I make them discard a card, and potentially burn a life, right? Okay, they live, whatever, alright? My turn again, it's still in play, I attack again, I might be on my Z leader, so I get the free combo this, they burn another life, they discard another card, I kill something else, alright, great. I tap 2, play another one, I swing again, you discard, KO another card, and then I can combo another one off and burn you again. It's like, it's just dumb. And on top of that as well, even if they are negating attacks on this, or if they are using or they're discarding cards for free, it's still this card, even though it says 35k on the card, combined with the leader or the Z leader, it's actually base 40k on this leader. Or if you're on the Z leader, it's base 45k. So even if they are like, they have to, this card A kills something, B forces them to discard a card, and C demands a negate. If they're not negating the attack, they're either like losing their entire hand or they're taking just 2 damage. This card is just dumb. Then again, another card that's also dumb is this Goku. The counterplay part of it is really good against yellow because if your opponent plays more Taito, you can respond with this when you're on your Z leader, force them to charge more Taito, and then put it into your opponent's Z, put more Taito into their Z energy, so then the auto doesn't resolve on more Taito. So this is one way to play around that card for the 8-drop specifically. But then the main purpose of this is that when you're on your Z leader, it's an extra 10k. It's a free 10k. Oh, that's not the Z leader. Sorry, it's a free 10k combo. So it's actually just a very powerful defensive card. I've had a lot of times where I've been shotgun, like attempted to be shotgun in a mirror match, and then I'm running two of these in hand. I'm like, oh, cool, combo both of them, get out of your attack. So this deck can get deceptively high combo power with not with a small hand and low energy. But yeah, both these both these cards are really, really powerful for the deck. Definitely 4 obs, just for consistency reasons, and of course, just good card is good. All right, next, just quickly going over my super combos. I've got 4 Paragus. This could easily be the Great Saiyaman. I've been debating changing it over to the Great Saiyaman super combo. I just personally like drawing 2 first. That's the main difference. Realistically, the only reason to once you go to the Great Saiyaman super combo is if you're worried about middle, which is completely fair enough. It's something I've been considering too. But yeah, I'm not. I guess I'm not being respectful. You can also make the argument for going to Great Saiyaman because if you're on your Z leader, you can bottom deck the Goku or Gohan. So you can play it again. But majority of the time, like this leader does it itself, like the re leader does it itself. So it's really hard to justify Great Saiyaman over Paragus for the fact that it's also a base 10k. So if you need B, you can combo when you're above 4 life. Next we'll go through the extra card lineup. I've got 3 Earth Destroying Kamehameha, 4 of the Uneasy Awakening Rage, and 3 Homicidal Clones. Homicidal Clones and Uneasy Awakening Range are free negates, so that's 1. 2, Awakening Range is the best floodgate in the game. So that's another thing. Like, this card is so over the top, right? It still blows my mind that when this card was announced, people thought this card was bad. That just blows my mind. Like, the fact that this card is either A, at minimum, a 1 energy negate that in this deck it cycles itself. That's what it's at worst. Then at best, it's a pitch 2 cards from hand. You get to still draw a card, and your opponent's floodgated for the turn every time they attack. They Z-charge a card. So, like, yeah, this card is crazy. The fact that we can do all this stuff we're doing, then back behind. Oh, by the way, I've taxed your hand this turn. If you want to kill me, you have to just keep on discarding your hand. So, yeah, this card's dumb. This card is very powerful. The reason why you run 4, my original reasoning for only running 3 is the fact it's limit 1. But like, you want to see this card. Like a lot of the time, I'll just negate, draw a card. Like it's just this card's silly. This card's just very powerful. And again, in the mirror match, if you go in second, I like to actually mulligan this for the mirror match going second, because when they do swing with their Vegeta, I'm just like, all right, I'm negate your attack and I'll draw a card. So like, yeah, okay, I didn't stop them Z cycling, whatever, but I just outright just don't have to worry about that first critical swing of theirs. And then Cells Earth destroying Kamehameha, running 3. Um, this card is broken as well. Like 1 energy, 15k, and then I also snipe a card out of my opponent's hand. There's so many times you just snipe super combos, snipe SCRs. This card just wins you games on its own. Like realistically speaking, it's actually a 1 energy 25k super combo, but it can hit like any one of your opponent's cards. So yeah, this card is very powerful. I no longer run the Frieza Zeno engine for the main reason it takes up too many deck slots, and I finally found a card that does what I want that to do but more. So this is the last card I would say is mandatory. I think every card I've shown so far is mandatory for the deck. And then these remaining cards I'll show you can be sideboarded or changed depending on how you feel or how you personally like to play the deck. But this last card here I think is 100% a main or sideboard card. The King Vegeta Unison. This card's crazy. It has this top bit of text doesn't matter. It's not for the deck that it's designed for. But we only the uptick and the downtick are both insanely powerful. Mainly the uptick being you gain 1 marker, and then you get to choose either one card from your opponent's hand. You choose. You get to force discard a card from the hand. Um, the fact that it is random and you're doing this every turn is crazy. Like it just taxes your opponent's hand so hard. Or you can just KO one of the cards, ignoring barrier, so it's an extra removal every turn. And then the minus the downtick is you just remove as many markers as you'd like from the unison. And for every marker you removed, you get to KO one of your opponent's battle cards. So it's either an AoE board wipe or just constantly taxing the hand the entire time. This honestly this card alone elevates the deck because you're able to play this card going first on curve for three energy. It is very difficult for decks to remove outside of green because it is a specified 3 cost unison with 19k base. So most leaders that at that point in the game, if they swing into this unison, they have to combo a card from the hand, which is just they're making them discard a card, and then they can't black smoke it. And yeah, that's just enough to keep a lot of stuff at bay. And if they're not attacking, and I can also just defend this with a floodgate, so that's another thing too. This card is crazy. I think if you are playing Green Gohan and you haven't tried this unison in the deck, you're doing yourself a disservice. The fact that you cannot play the 8-drop on curve going first, there's literally nothing really good to do. And I found this is the best thing, even in the mirror match where they can just nuke this. I've always found this to be my favorite play to do going first if I have 3 energy. So this card's over the top really good. Would recommend. This is 100% a necessary card in your main or side. That's like no ifs or buts. Against blue and yellow, which will drag the game on and on and on, the fact that if you sit this and every single turn that this card remains on the board, you are randomly choosing a card out of your opponent's hand and placing it in the drop area will win you games. It's just, yeah, it's just such a crazy high value card. Next is my SCR of choice is Wicked Saiyan. So I got this from Brian Samuel's list. He won one of the Gen Con events, and the main reason that this card is nice is simply the fact it's a Green Saiyan. That's the only thing I can really, yeah, the main turning point on it, right? It's a Green Saiyan, which means it's searchable from your leader, right? And then it has the when you combo this card, right? At the end of the combo, you pay 2 energy. Then your opponent gets the option to either tap 4 of their cards, which in the rest mode. And if they can't do that, you get to play this card, and they discard 2 cards from their hand. And then this card's just a 40k dual attacker with blocker. So yeah, that's really good. And it's also a free 10k combo as well. So this kind of ties back into how I said before, this deck gets deceptively high combo power with 0 cards in hand. This is part of the reason as well. Like against Max Kennedy, this actually saved me the game. Not the fact that I was able to make him discard 2 or tap 4. The fact that it was just a free 10k combo honestly just saved me the game against him. It was what I needed to get out of certain things, out of certain attacks. And yeah, it's searchable. The big thing is that it is searchable. Decks that can search SCRs versus decks that can't are instantly at a massive advantage. I think that the other, like, Pan's really good. Pan Zeno. Cell Max is really good. Cell Zeno is really good. There's a bunch. I think there's 6 or 7 SCRs in this deck. I would say, yeah, that's a good SCR pick. It's great. It has a lot of pros to it. If you draw it, it does work. But then the big thing is that you have to draw your SCR to to use it, obviously. Or if you don't see the card, you can't resolve it. So the fact that our SCR is searchable makes it even better. I think this is yeah, this is a crazy card, and I actually kind of lied. And now I'm thinking about it, I didn't use Panzena in my previous deck list, but I did change it after the tournament. I was using the triple strike Goku from the set that was intended for this deck, but like, yeah, I think the fact that this is free 10k combo, and it's also a body attached to it versus it like the triple strike leader, the triple strike Goku. I think that this is slightly better, but I don't think you can go wrong. I would say currently Wicked Saiyans is it's hard. I think it's either a toss up between Wicked Saiyans or Panzeno are the best SCR options for this deck in my opinion. I just think the Wicked Saiyans is slightly better just due to the fact that it's searchable. So, but yeah, I don't think there's I like I said, there's like 5 or 6 SCRs you can play for this deck, and I don't think any of them are bad. The thing about this deck is the deck's engine is so good it doesn't actually really need the SCR to win games. Alright, 2 Overwhelms is Vegeta, Faint Grading. Play this, your opponent just warps a card from the hand, means they can't pitch to Bura or the free Goku, 3 future Gohan or Vegeta, so you just play this, make them warp a card out of the hand. Very good. I don't like Secret ID in this deck, you've already got so much removal. Same with the big Vegeta again, we've got so many removals, so I'd rather just play a 30k beat stick that also taxes an opponent's card. Then the last slots I have of the deck, I have 3 Winter Edits, 3 Kaioken, and then 1 Vegeta protecting the loved ones. So the 1 Vegeta protecting the loved ones is a level 2 charge. I have to play. No, the reason why there's only one of this, this is originally the 4th Goku from the engine, but I realized I needed more tech options between main and side, so I just decided to cut it for one of this in the main. And it seems though best of 1 pre-side, people need to start looking at best of 1 pre-side as, alright, I have 65 cards. What are my best 50 cards for a matchup, or best, like, you have 60, or if your deck's a hard 50 like this is, right, you have to pick your best 50 out of your 65 cards for a particular matchup. So it doesn't actually matter what cards are in your main or side, it just depends on what you decide to take into the matchup, right? So that's why this doesn't actually matter that it's a 1-of in the main, because if it's needed, like, this card will get started out for something that's more relevant in the matchup. And then, yeah, same with this Raditz and Goku. I think these are the 2 worst cards in the deck, honestly. In theory, the Kaioken Goku should be insane, right? It's a 1 energy, your opponent discards a card. And then it's a 15k crit. Against green or yellow, this card literally just says my opponent gets to draw a card, so it's always gets started out against green and yellow. And then also against blue to an extent. I much rather have Vegeta protecting the loved ones in play, because what happens is that if they ever tap an energy for Deborah, that means that when I swing with my 8-drop, it's way more taxing to them, because they can't D-magic, they have to use an actual negate or something else to deal with it, so that usually gets started out for that, for 2 more copies of this. And then Raditz pulling ahead, I want to like this card. I do think the times I have resulted is good. I think it is better than the crit blocker Vegeta Monkey from the previous TP pack, just simply because this is a 20k base. And that card is only good on the first 2 turns of the game. Every other turn, the crit monkey's bad, so I might as well play a slightly better card. But this is definitely replaceable. It's good, but not great. I will say it is nice against the fact that it's a 20k base versus a 19k base means it just, if I'm versing a Z leader, it means I don't have to combo an extra card, which is the biggest pull I had for it. But if you think you can find something better, I'd say go for it, because I think these 2 cards are very lackluster. I don't think I resolved them that much on the weekend. Maybe the Raditz once or twice. I don't think they're bad. It's just that when you see these cards and you see the rest of the deck, it's like, what's the point of playing these cards? So that's my logic there. But this Vegeta, when it's against blue, it's really good. So yeah, that's technically the main board. We'll quickly just dive into the side. Yeah, well, like I said with the Vegeta before, I have 2 more of the Vegeta for blue hate. Yeah, like on turns, like you can literally your quote unquote your turn, like for 3 energy, you can play this for 1, then play the 8-drop alongside it, and that's just devastating against blue players. Like they can't really D-magic for free and then play Deborah. They have like an actual choice of what they have to do. So yeah, this card's very powerful against blue. That's again why we play it. 2 Koitsukai and 2 Focus Breakthrough. Yellow, really. Koitsukai hits like riposte pretty much all their floodgates, and if they do decide to use the free Gohan they play, please warp 2 cards, so it turns that off. And then Focus Breakthrough, this hits more Taito, which is huge. It means we can actually safely go with our 8-drop. I hated Focus Breakthrough at the start, but then the more I played this deck, the more I realized, well, look, I can make them warp too if they play more Taito, or I can just kill them with the 8-drop, and I thought killing them with the 8-drop was slightly better, so yeah. Then I have two Urgent Aid Kami. Don't play this against Soul Striker. If you play this against Soul Striker, they're just going to tap 3 for the Cell from the Z deck and include this card. This is mainly for Golden Freezer. This really hurts Golden Freezer a lot, honestly. Yeah, the fact that it hurts the untapping is yeah, huge for the early game. Because that matchup, I say, Golden Freezer is definitely the best yellow deck right now. And yeah, we're just respecting the best yellow deck in the game with this card. Makes them so they can't just untap for free. Two of this Gohan Latent Power Unleashed, just to snipe, just to literally just one-shot unisons. Honestly, I'm tempted to cut Raditz and the Goku for more of this and just main it maybe and just free up more slots. Because this card's just more useful. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit cynical towards those two cards because I really like those cards. They're nice looking cards, but like objectively speaking, it's like this card does more a lot of the time, and sometimes you will verse a deck that's playing Unis, it's like, oh, I'll just pay one to kill it. Like, so yeah, this card's very good. And then it's also got 2 energy, just carry something on plate and swing a 25k crit if you're at 4 life or less. Very good. I was having this at 3 in my previous list. I think this card's really good against sorry, not Future Trunks, Trunks Zeno. So yeah, I think it's very important to clear the Unis in that matchup. And then my last cards, I have 2 Charismatic Villain. We've got a Unison in the main. This is a card I run for Golden Freezer. Golden Freezer players are very greedy with how they like to do things. So let's just say now Golden Freezer players might play 1 energy to play one of their cantrips and then tap out for the Gohan Unison or a big play for the turn. But they might not have another Freezer, a Freezer army card in play. So you can Charismatic Villain and KO the 1 Freezer army card they have on board, and that means they have tapped themselves out, and that means they usually die on that turn. Like, once that deck is very powerful because it kind of gets to play with unlimited energy to an extent, but as soon as that deck is actually out of energy, it's very fragile. So this is the whole reason why I was running this card, especially because we've got a very tanky Unison in the main. I would keep him playing. I think it's good. And then just 3 of the Vegeta counterplay. If I have a versus the mirror match, there's 3 of the Gokus are coming out and 3 of these are coming in, straightforward like that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up there, guys. Sorry if I sound a bit more tired than normal. I don't normally drive to events interstate. It's actually the first time I did, so I am kind of tired. But yeah, I still wanted to record the deck profile for you guys and just show you the updated version of my deck. It is Green Gohan. Not much else to say. I think the deck is very powerful. I don't think that you can go wrong with this deck. If you play this deck and you practice it a little bit and practice the lines and that, I think you will be able to do very well. And yeah, obviously this is the second time I've run this deck at a tournament, and my build has changed just a little bit. I wouldn't say way too much, but it's changed enough where I think this version of the deck is better than my previous version of the deck. And obviously, of course, people are getting better at versing the deck as well, so obviously we'll have to adapt and whatnot. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys all next time. Looking forward to the next set. You will probably be seeing me play Gogeta because that deck looks absurd. Yeah, the new Gogeta deck's kind of dumb. So just a little something for you guys to should probably try that deck out. But anyway, guys, this is John signing out from the Collectors Company. Peace.